Everyone, Casey Stubbs here this morning, and I'm looking a little bit crazy because I got caught in the rain. So just don't worry about my hair. I haven't been able to get it cut because there's no barber open, so things just go a little wild these days, and that's okay. Getting things a little wild from time to time is all right. But anyways, let's talk about trading. So I'm just gonna make it a real quick video today, just kind of checking in. Remember, we are really working hard at doubling the account. That's going to be my mission. I'm not going to bail from that. I'm just going to stay consistent, and hopefully will help you guys along the way. So anyways, I got a great setup here on the pound. And you can see that I'm entered in right here, and I got a pretty good tight stop on it, and it pulled up, and now I went ahead and moved it to break even. And so it's currently in profit about 80 some pips. And so again, if you're using a 15 pip stop, which my stop was just around 15, 15 pip stop and hitting an 80 some pip target, that's great. I didn't hit the target yet, but I'm just saying that that's how we'll do this, and you take a lot of losers, take a lot of losers, take a lot of losers, but then the big winners will erase them all and then some. And then when you hit 2 big winners or 3 big winners in a row, that's when you really get into the zone. And so yesterday we can see I botched this trade. I took a short here, didn't get any follow through, and it immediately went the opposite direction. And that's okay. It happens. So yesterday was down, and then I also took, just a reminder, we took the CAD Swiss, and that did end up making me some money. I took a break here. You can see we broke this 15 period, one of these, I think it was this one, and not 15 period, the 50 period moving average, it popped up, went over on the 15 period moving average. So that was good, right? That was really good. So we did get a winner there, but it wasn't a big one. It didn't follow through enough. It pulled back, and I ended up getting knocked out. So it wasn't a huge winner. But right now I've got a big one on. If we look at the pound, it's currently it's retracing here, but we don't know if this move is just a pullback and then another move. If we look at the daily, it is up 6 days in a row, but they're not real strong. So based off of that, I'm like, okay, it's not super exciting. It's not super strong. But if we can get some kind of burst, and then that'll change the game. Then it'll go from not super strong to super strong, and then that's what I want. So I got my target up here, which is $423, 350 pips. And the reason, for those of you that are wondering, the reason I'm choosing that target is because this is where there's some support. And one of the cool things about this is I have a 50 period moving average, and if you'll notice, it's possible to close above this today. And so if I was trading this on a daily, I would actually be entering. And I know there's other daily traders that do that. They trade on a 50 period daily moving average, and so that is an encouragement to me. If we can close above this level, that we can get some upward momentum. And then once the momentum kicks, then you never know what's going to happen. But right now, we're in a really small, tight range, not a lot of volume, not a lot of action, and so it might just falter a little bit. So in the meantime, let's take a look at some potential trades we could be looking at. So I've got CAD Swiss, which this break of the upside here was just a beauty, and I've been watching this pair for a while. I really have been wanting to take this long ever since. Let's go back. Ever since it was even down here, I was wanting to take it long. So that's a really good thing with that. So that's that, CAD Swiss. So right now, just in quick analysis, I'm going to be waiting for this thing to pull back. I think on a daily, it still has some room, okay? I think that it has potential to go all the way up here. So what does that mean for me? That means when this thing breaks above this moving average, I'm going to go ahead and go long. okay, when I get some momentum. I'm going to wait for the momentum to carry. Don't know how far this will pull back. I could be totally wrong. It'll pull way back, but I'm excited about the potential here of getting a break to the upside. So, oh, there's my power indicator. Aussie dollar, and let me just pull that up and see what it says today. So today we're still on the Euro Australian. That has not changed. That has not changed. On the weakest, the New Zealand is the next one, and the Swiss is the next one. So the Euro and the Swiss are the two weakies. The Australian and the New Zealand are the two strong. So if you're looking for good pairs, Euros, Swiss pairs, Australian, New Zealand pairs. And so that's one of the reasons why the CAD Swiss is good, because the CAD's up here and the Swiss is down. But let's take a look at that Euro Australian right now. And we're kind of in a little bit of a flat range here. Remember yesterday I was saying that I was thinking it could reverse just because of where it's sitting. And if we look at this on a daily, I had mentioned this level, and it's still sitting here, right? It hasn't really done much. So I, at this point, am still thinking that this thing could go either up or down. And so we've got breaks above the 50 period, breaks above the 50 period, breaks above, and then breaks below. And none of the trades have been truly amazing. The low trades haven't been amazing, and the high trades haven't been amazing. But if you'll notice, this has peaked down, and then it shot up pretty powerfully, and now it's trying to push up again. So let me do something different here, and I'm going to pull up an RSI just to see what the RSI is telling me. And you guys know that I like to look for things on the RSI, and you can see that it is currently overextended. It's, according to the RSI, it's at a 30. So it's there, but it is not showing divergence, okay? And so if we remember what divergence is, it's when it makes a new high, and that new high will get taken out, not high, low. It makes a new low. That new low will get taken out, and you don't have a divergence. You don't always see one. So here was but you can see here was a high in the RSI, and there was no divergence, and it's still rejected. So just because there's no divergence doesn't mean it's not going to reject. The divergence just helps it determine when it's just another confirmation factor. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. But right now we are sitting on this period, so if we get any kind of upward moves, be watching for that. Look at this on an hourly time frame. You know, this hourly is a really powerful moving average. Do you see this? And now it touched right into it. But because it's so long, if we get a break above this, it could start something. It could start a move like this. And I have actually done this before, guys, on camera. It could do a move like this, break above, pull back, and then do something like this. Okay, and remember, we drew that fib retracement too. Let's draw a fib retracement from this most current move. We could see 38.2 and 50. Okay, so with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised here, guys. It's shot down, but it doesn't have you notice how these are big, strong moves? Big, strong moves. There's a big, strong move here, a big, strong move here, and now this is just kind of going. And of course, I always try to look at all the options. It could be just like this, where it goes sideways and then go. But the only difference is that we're at a support level. We're also sitting way down on the RSI on the daily. And so those two factors make me feel like we could be in line for a move here. And let's pull on my Savvy MACD. So I'm pulling out all the stops today. Savvy MACD, if we look at a daily, MACD's very overextended. Hasn't actually it's not overextended, but it's peaking. It's not overextended, it's peaking. It hasn't started the descent yet. If we take a look, zoom it up a little, we look here, when these indicators cross and then start to move, then we could see a reversal. But if we look at a lower time frames, 4 hour, what's the 4 hour? Still really extended, but you can see it's starting to weaken here. See, that's a clue. It's starting to weaken. Down here was a really strong MACD. This one's getting weaker, and so when it pulls up, it might give us a little bit of a reversal. And then on the hourly, you can see the hourly is actually now indicating we're looking for a crossover. So even before the 15-minute cross or the hourly cross, I'm going to take this as a long just because of what we had noticed, okay? So I'm going to take it right now. Let's see. And yes, it's crazy. I'm defying the power indicator. I am breaking the law. I am going long when the power indicator is telling me to go short, but sometimes you just got to break the law. But this follows my trading rules, okay? So it's not too crazy. So I'm going to give this one a little more room here. I'm going to give this one a 38 pip stop just because it's the Euro Australian, and I'm going to target right up at the 38.6 on the up here. Okay, 38.6, which is a nice 212 pip target with a nice 38 pip stop. Good risk to reward ratio. Really excited about that. So it might not be the real deal. I might be totally off base on it, but you know that I did my analysis. I felt like I followed through on what I was supposed to do. So with all that being said, I'm cool with this trade, even though it's counter trend. Even though I'm breaking the law with the power indicator, you know, all of those things, you know, that's just, it is what it is. So I'm in the trade right now, and I think it's going to be a good one, guys, but you never know, right? With trading, you never know. So once if I can get a little bit of a break here on a daily, if I can get a little push, and when you get there's some good things that can happen. We talk about behind the scenes. Let me clear this out and just talk about some of those. Do I have a clean? I thought I had a clean. Okay, I don't have a clean. Let me just talk a little bit more about what this can mean for everybody. Okay, so one of the things that we got to realize right now is that there are a lot of people that are long, which is sometimes a bad thing, right? Sometimes it's a bad thing in trading because all those long traders are going to get snuffed out and broken. However, what we also got to remember is there's a lot of big time traders that are short, and every time it pops, they're shorting. So every time they get a pop, they're shorting because it's just worked, right? That trade has just worked over and over again. And I've talked about it. I talked about it a lot. Whenever you pop, you short. Whenever it pops, you short. Whenever it pops, you short. And that's worked for days and days and days. And so the market knows that. There are smart people that are like, okay, we're going to fake out all those people that have been doing this and made money. So all these people that are shorting up here, they're like, oh yeah, this is going to work this time. It worked the last 5 times. So now they're going to short it. Well, guess what? It's not going to work. And then what happens is they get squeezed, the stops get triggered, and then it gives it some buying power, and then you'll see a spike, and they call that a short squeeze, right? And so then it happens for a few levels in a row. So then this level gets squeezed. If this level gets squeezed, then they're going to come in here, and then this level's going to get squeezed, right? Because everybody's going to be going short. And then if it spikes, then you get a really strong spike, and then you got a lot of shorts getting squeezed out, and that can carry the price up. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just running some scenarios in my mind about some things that could happen. And I like to do that, right? But remember, ultimately, at the end of the day, what really matters, it's good to run these scenarios. I think it's really good. I think if the more scenarios you run, the more you understand the market, the more you understand price patterns, the more you understand trading, the better you're going to be in the long run, right? So I think it's a very good thing. However, with that being said, it's just one trade, right? And so if I lose it, that's okay because I'm managing my risk. What I'm predicting to happen, what I'm talking about with this squeeze, it's going to happen at some point in time in history. This pair is going to get squeezed and it's going to go up. It's going to happen. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I know that scenario that I just played out, it will happen. So with that being said, Why not now? Why not now? All right, so that's pretty much it for today. I got my trade in. I'm looking forward to it. I got this pound dollar trade on. You can see that I'm down a good bit, but if you've seen any of my series before, I've done this before. I've been down before, and I've always come back, and I'm going to come back again. So if you're down and you're struggling, remember, if you do the rules and you follow things right, you can come back. Right? You can come back. I'm going to reverse this. See how it says average loss at 66, average win at 23? That's going to be flipped. I'm going to get to the point where my average win is going to be 66 and my average loss is going to be 23. Just watch and see. It's going to happen. I made a couple big errors on this, and I'm paying the price for my own mistakes. But you know what? I'm going to get back because I've got the right mindset. I believe that I'm going to do it. I know that I'm going to do it. I've got confidence in the market. I've got confidence that if I follow what needs to be followed, that it'll work out. Okay? So for all of you guys out there, thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. You guys can do this. You know, any questions you have, just try to leave a comment or whatever, and I'll get to it. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, if you want recordings, they're all coming in. Don't worry, Peter, they're going to be there. We'll get them as soon as we possibly can. And I'll make a note to make sure that we're sending them out. Okay, guys, that's it for that trade and for the day, and I'll be back. And look at that. We took out the level. You see that? We took it out. So that's actually pretty nice for me. I'm at $42 on that trade already, right? So my risk was 50, so I'm already at basically a 1-to-1, which is pretty cool when that happens. As you guys know on camera, that doesn't happen to me a lot, but it did right now, so that's good. So a couple winning trades will get me out of this hole. Remember, I'm in a pretty big hole right now, and it stinks, but remember, I'm going to double this thing 10 times. That's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We'll go back to the spreadsheet. We started on 424, so we'll see how long it takes. But I'm excited about it. But we got to get some big winners here. So let's hope that the market just starts crushing all these short people, all these people that are like, yeah, this is it. So let's see what happens. All right. And remember, when you're looking at euro, if you're looking at Australian weakness, you could always try to find other Australian pairs that are strong, that are against something even stronger than the euro, like the New Zealand. The odd New Zealand might be a good move at this point as well, because let's pull that up. Australian, New Zealand. Wow, look at that. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's where the power comes in. So the Australian's weak right now, and so I picked the Euro Aussie. I could have picked the odd Aussie, and really, the Australian Aussie really done well. But that was just a hunch because I knew the Australian was weak and the New Zealand was strong. So again, you just play that out. All right, everyone. Make sure you hit that like button, please. I'd really appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter as well. I'm going to be putting out some more stuff on Twitter. And my most recent podcast episode came out today. It was pretty cool. So you can go to my website and check that out as well. TradingStrategyGuides.com. The podcast episode was with Marcus. Marcus Heitcutter shared some really good insight on trading. And that's it, guys. Thanks a lot, and we will see you guys very soon.